Sit. I don't know how to say this.
Well, that wouldn't be the first time.
Listen, I know you like Sky, and I'm just going to ask you to stay away from her romantically. You know, it could only confuse her right now, and she's very fragile, and we have to make sure.
But it's all right if you're at her bed at night.
Oh, that was only. Oh no, that's not what you think it is.
Okay, so what is it then?
Every time I look at Sky, it's like April is right in front of me. Her laughter, her smile. Part of me died with her, and I don't know how to get it back. She was everything to me.
The whole universe revolves around April. April's got the measles. April's lost her first tooth. April's got to get ready for prom. She could sneeze once. Time stopped. And everyone would be there in an instant to take care of her. She didn't even want you to. Don't you realize that? Why do you think she was running off from time to time? You were suffocating her. You, and Mom especially. I loved April. But she's dead. And even now, after her death, it's the same thing happens. It's everyone, only now it's everyone so stuck in their pain and their sorrow and their grief. Nothing I did ever counted. But I'm glad I'm used to it now. Yeah, maybe I don't even care anymore. But I remember when I was a kid, I used to wish every day, so badly, that you or Mom would just pay the same attention to me that you did to April.
Aaron! So what'd you see there? Yeah, what you saw is reality. This happens to millions and millions of boys across the United States. Every year. Boys who have sisters. That's right. The majority of parents, Mom and Dad both, will focus all of their attention in on that girl, on that girl, on that girl, on that girl. And they will pamper her, they will cradle her, they will give her everything. All the attention will go to her. That's right. And you heard him when he was a kid. He wished every day so hard that they would only give him the same amount of attention that they gave her. And you know, it's sad because I've witnessed this with my own eyes. So many times in my life. And it makes me sick. It disgusts me. Our entire society places a female up on a pedestal. And we have double standards for everything when it comes to the opposite gender. Men are basically thrown under a bus from the time they're a kid. When you started school, one of the first things you're taught in school is boys do not hate girls, boys do not hate girls. Why was the gender ever brought up? Why wasn't it taught nobody hits nobody? No, that's not what's taught. And then they will lie to you, openly lie to you. Even as my kid grew up, and he said to me during a Bruce Willis movie, when that Chinese girl was doing martial arts and kicking the crap out of Bruce Willis. And Bruce Willis fought back. And my son looks at me and says, Dad, he can't hit a girl. And I says, where did you learn that? He says, school. Of course. And then when I confronted his school about it, we don't teach our students that. Bullshit, you don't. My kid didn't learn it from anywhere else, and he didn't lie to me. He told me the truth. Same thing I was taught. That's right, because it's a gender. Boys don't hit girls. Then you want to tell me that's because boys are stronger than females. Should have tried to kick the shit out of my grandma. She'd have knocked most men on their ass. That lady chopped wood with an axe, split wood with an axe, chopped down trees with an axe. Grew up on a farm doing every amount of the work that men did on a regular basis. She was as strong as any man. And she knew how to fight. Don't even go there with me. Society lies to us regularly. And they play two ends of the stick to divide. If you took a poll, and you one side of the pole is men and one side's women, what you get? It's different programming for one gender than different programming for the other gender. Then you got gender roles. Who tells the guy that he's born to be an ATM machine? That he owes her. That if he has a woman in his life, he owes her her survival, her living. He don't owe her shit. And I watched this so much. So much. I can't even watch movies. And it's getting worse and worse. I mean, I can go movie after movie after movie after movie. Literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of movies. With male bashing in them. Male bashing, male bashing, male bashing, male bashing, male bashing, male bashing. And I'm a guy. And I have to witness this over and over and over and over and over and over on a regular basis. Even when a woman assaults a man, kicks him in the nuts, everybody's laughing. It's comical. It's a comedy. Look at Marina Bobbitt. When she sliced off her husband, you know what? Even if it was a phony story, it doesn't matter. Look how society acted. It was funny. It was hilarious. She became a star. She became an idol to women. Well, what happened if a guy cut off a woman's breast? Would he become an idol to men? No. He'd be bashed and run right out of society if not killed. See, he was right. If she had something wrong, and Sister April, if she had something wrong, time stood still. He was correct. That's how it is. Look at the double standards we have based on genders. Look at what's put in the movies. Everybody believes the only thing men think about when it comes to woman is sex, 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 sex. And that it's all men. And that's not even true. Not even in the littlest is that true. That's propaganda. Our whole world's been sexualized. And it's replaced love. It's destroyed families and destroyed lives. Morals are gone. But how many of you out there have a sister and grew up in a home and experienced what you just seen? I'll guarantee you the numbers are high. But I want to put this in your face because it needs to be in your face. You need to see it and understand. It wasn't even 3-4 months ago. My own family members, they're staying in my home. When the father, he's got a daughter and a son. They're both really young. He goes out of town to a funeral, out of state. When he returned home 2 days later, both kids met him at the door. They were both so happy to see him. He gives his son a hug, and his son goes on his way. Because the son's standing right there. He didn't really go nowhere, but he gave his son a hug. Cool, right? Now, if he just gave his daughter the same hug and been done and they're both right there, that'd be acceptable. But that's not what happened. He hugged his son. Done. Hugged his daughter. Picked her up in his arms and cradled her and hugged her and paid attention to her and played with her and giggled with her and laughed with her for a good 10 minutes. The boy's trying to get his attention. Not right now, not right now. I'm busy with my sister. I'm busy with the daughter, you know. And the boy's witnessing his sister getting all this attention. All this attention that he couldn't have. A couple of weeks later, both kids are sitting on the table. Both kids are making all kinds of racket. Both of them, the girl and the boy. My brother told them to both quiet down. He comes out of the back of the house. He's back in the back room. And he looks at him. Asks what happened. And my brother says, they were being noisy. I told them to quiet down. He looked at his son and told his son, get to your room. And he went back to his room. They were both being noisy. But the one that got punished was the boy. So naively, he's throwing his son under the bus. He's not thinking while he's doing it. He's just doing it. He's going out of reaction because social conditioning programming. The girl's the most important. The girl. So what? He's just a boy. He's tough. He can take no attention. He don't need love and attention. Give him a hug now and again. That's all he needs. You know, so no. I done this video because this needs to be said. People need to see what they're doing. This young man was right when he said as a child he wished so hard every day that his parents, both of them, mom and dad, both, would just give him the same amount of attention they give to the sister. Of course, it never happened. You know, and it wasn't even but 3 years ago I witnessed it again. Like I said, I've witnessed it so many times. And I remember this one really well because the boy was like 8 years old and he was going out the door to school. He's being yelled at all the time. Yelled at all the time, and his sister's being pampered right in front of me. His sister does wrong and she's excused. She's excused. She's excused. He does something and he's yelled at and he's screamed at and he's yelled at and he's screamed at. She gets the attention. She gets the attention. He don't. He don't. If he tries to get the attention, he's yelled at and screamed at. Birthday party comes up. We go all out for the sister. We go out and run a damn community center and we invite all these people over and we spend all this money. We got $500-600 spent for her birthday party. His birthday party shows up. We spend a couple $100 if we're lucky. We don't go all out for him, but we went all out for her. Yeah. And believe me, I've seen this off and on my whole life. What this guy said to his father and this, what you just saw, is the truth in your face. It's the reality. See, now he's older and he's used to it now. He's so numb. Used to being thrown under a bus. That's what it's like to be a boy in today's society. Get used to being thrown under a bus, even by your own dad. So you want to talk about misogynists? If we turn this around, we would be woman haters. We would be misogynists. Can you imagine turning this around? That all of our attention goes to the boy? And if something happens, time stands still. And the girl is ignored. And ignored. And wishing she could just have the same amount of attention as her brother. That'd be a crime. Our country would come to a stop. The male bashing is pathetic. It makes me sick. It really does. The division that's been engineered in this country and how everybody has fallen for it, hook, line, and sinker. How one gender is so pampered and so given everything. And the majority of that gender ends up being a narcissist when they're older. They have entitlement issues. They become totally narcissists. And why do they have entitlement issues? because this is what they grew up in. Everything's gifted to them. After all, you're a guy. You're her living. You're an ATM machine. It's pathetic, sickens, disgusting.